Awesome, great. So, hi everyone. So, first of all, thanks for registering to this particular session. So, in this particular today's webinar, which is titled as Predictive Modeling for the Healthcare, basically. Okay. So, hope you are able to see my screen, right? Can you please confirm my screen is visible? Yeah. Is my screen visible, guys? Guys, will have to speak because I cannot see the
Yes, sir.
messages. Okay.
Visible,
Yes,
sir.
yes, it's
Great.
visible.
Nice. So this is the session for the today's lecture, that is predictive modeling for the healthcare, right? So if you will look at this particular topic, basically, first of all, then there are two words here. One is three words: predictive, other is modeling, and other is the healthcare, basically, right? So uh, even if I'm going to ask this particular question to a school kid, basically, like a fifth or a sixth standard kid, basically, then I'm damn sure that he will have the answer to this particular question, that he will try to tell basically like, what is the meaning of prediction, what is the meaning of modeling, and what is the meaning of healthcare, right? So healthcare, he will be able to answer. He will be able to answer what is the meaning of healthcare, right? What is the meaning of prediction? Because these are English words. Modeling, he'll be a little bit confused. Like, what is the meaning of modeling, basically, right? So we will start the session by the introduction to this particular three terms only. Right? So when we talk about the healthcare, basically, guys, so first of all, we really need to understand what is the meaning of healthcare, right? So when you look at the word healthcare, it is again for the middle of two words. One is the health, and other is the care, basically, right? It means that, just a minute, okay? Sorry. Okay. So healthcare is again further made of two words, health and the care, right? So it means that what you should do, basically, or what we should do in order to make our health better, basically. Okay. And when we talk about making our health better, it doesn't mean always that we are suffering from one particular disease and then we should do something to get out of it, basically. Okay. So the different kind of the techniques. One is named as the preventive care. Right. So preventive care is something basically where we try to take care of ourselves before being hit by some disease or by some traumatic stage, okay, or some state which is going to hit us badly and affect our health, basically. Okay, so in order to take the preventive measures, first of all, we really need to understand how the health is going to be affected by the different key factors or the key note molecules, right? So for that reason, we really need to understand how the health is going to be affected or it is being regulated by the different factors, right? And when you talk about the factors can be epigenetic factor, these can be genetic factors, these can be your environmental factors, these can be your social factors, okay, and other n number of the factors, basically, right? So this is the meaning of healthcare, basically. Okay, how to do or what preventive measures we should take in order to make our health better, basically. Okay. Other, if some particular personality or some particular individual has already been hit by a particular disease or something, what we should do in order to take the patient out of it, right? And trust me, guys, how well prepared either India or the complete world is for the healthcare. COVID was just a small example to show the reality of the current healthcare system in the entire world, basically. Okay. So we really need to understand that where have we achieved in terms of healthcare today, basically. Right? Then we have the word predictive, basically, here. Okay. So obviously, if I told you that like we really need to take care of our health better, then we should be able to predict that based upon the given parameters or based on the given state of my health right now, how likely am I going to suffer from a particular disease in the coming 5 year down the time, okay, or 10 year down the time in the coming future, okay. If I am having some particular X disease, or suppose that if I'm hit by second stage of brain tumor, then how much time have I left with me, basically, okay. which uh, which combination of the chemo and the radio should start basically in order to make my health better, right? So this is the meaning of predictive basically. We need to predict something based upon the present state. We are trying to predict the future. Okay, we are trying to predict the future. When we go for this kind of the modeling that I'm telling you, it is named as prognostication. Okay, that is based upon the given health condition. You are trying to predict the likelihood of your future health basically. That is termed as prognostication. Other is your diagnostication. Diagnostication is what, based on the given state of your health basically, we try to diagnose and tell what sort of disease or health condition have you been suffering. Okay, for example, suppose that yesterday I was just going on road and I just fell down. Okay, some blackout appeared and I fell down basically on the road, right? Then when I will go to the doctor will first start doing the CT scan followed by MRI, right? Why? Because these are very common symptoms of like either my vitamin level has gone very down. So one diagnostic measure is what, like vitamin level will be checked. Okay, vitamins profiling basically. Other is what, blackout is very highly likely with the brain related conditions as well basically. In order to diagnose those, doctor will recommend CT scan, MRI basically, right? So what are they trying to do? They are not doing any prediction basically for the future based on the current state of the health. They're just trying to find how badly am I suffering right now and diagnose me basically. Based upon the diagnostic state, we try to predict the future and prognose basically. Okay. So this is the meaning of prediction. And why the prediction is so important in healthcare, I've tried to answer you basically. Right? And the third remaining word is basically your modeling. Right. Now see, अभी जो मैंने आपको ये इतने सारे एग्जांपल देने की कोशिश करी है, राइट? ये कर देंगे, वो कर देंगे. Now the real challenge is what? In order to do all these things, we really need to have something in our hand, right? And what is that which we require in our order to predict something? That is your data, right? We need to have some data in our hand. Okay. Suppose that if based upon the gene expression condition of some particular patient, you want to predict that how likely the patient is going to suffer from breast cancer in the coming 5 years or down the time, right? So here, what do you need to have? The gene expression data, right? Like suppose that based upon the research, or like based upon some data available and everything, basically, some scientists or group basically they started analyzing the data and they landed up with the seven gene as the signature for breast cancer, right? So, and these are the signatures. When I talk about the signatures here, it means that based upon the expression value of these genes, we can tell in which stage the patient is at that particular moment of time, right? So just try to see, like, understand the value of modeling. Okay. Now, suppose that you have found, you know, those seven signature genes basically, right? And now you want to predict the current state of a particular patient and likeliness of the patient to fall with the breast cancer coming down the time for 5 years, right? So what will you do? Very simple. You will try to profile those seven genes, fit upon the model, and try to get something, right? So that is the meaning of modeling. Okay, that is the meaning of modeling basically. Yeah, so Payal has raised her hand. Hi, Payal. Yeah, go ahead. You want to ask something?
Yeah. So as you mentioned that you will be having some signatures, and based on that you will be, I mean, predicting whether that person will develop some disease in future or something.
Right.
So I just want to ask, say, how based on genes you can say this person will uh, be developing diseases? I mean, you will have some data, you will fit the model.
Hmm.
What kind of model you will fit, and how you will assess that the new data point, that is the new person who has come to you, that is going to develop disease? I mean,
Good.
is it the presence of those biomarkers in the patient?
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not able to relate this.
Not a problem. So, Pal, can you tell me like what is your current state of education? Basically, like what is your current status? Like you're a bachelor or a master student?
Yeah, I'm a master student.
So,
And,
from where?
I'm working in IISc.
Okay, great.
So,
So
yeah,
not a big problem. So I will just wait for two more slides basically, and the question will be clear to you. Okay.
sure, sure.
So I will answer this question basically. Thanks for asking basically. Okay. Great. So this is the meaning of modeling basically. Okay. That is you are having something in your hand, and then based upon those, you are trying to predict something. Right. So how? Let me show you basically. So when I talk about the modeling basically, then really need to understand what are the different kinds of modeling first. Okay. So see guys, these are the healthcare analytics. So and this is not my slide. I've taken from someone else's slide basically. Okay. So see guys, like this is the value, and here we are giving the difficulty level. Okay. If you look at the most easiest thing is what descriptive analytics, but the most important one, followed by diagnostic analytics, followed by predictive analytics, and then followed by the prescriptive analytics. Right. So these are the different kinds of the modeling which we do in the healthcare setting basically. Right. So now we really need to understand what is the meaning of descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. And for all these things, we really need to have one thing in common basically, and that is your data, right? So first of all, what is going to happen is that, like suppose that today in this call right now, 39 people are here, right? So suppose that if, sorry, if I'm going to collect the data of all of us 37, 39 people basically, okay, I'm going to store this data in Excel file basically. Okay. So that is going to be a data for me. Okay. If I'm going to have the one individual entity data only, that will come the datum, and that is not of much importance to you, right? But when we are going to collect number of the datum, then it becomes data. Data is a plural word, right? And it is always the data which is of your interest, guys. It is never the datum which is of your interest. भाई आप एक single data point लेके क्या कर लोगे? So we really need to have the data. Now, when we have the data, the first thing is what basically we really need to understand what is this data all about, right? And as my supervisor also says basically that you should whenever you have the data, being a data scientist, you should always fall in love and the relationship with your data first. Okay, because if you're not able to build a good relationship with your data, you'll not be able to like do anything basically further, right? So whenever you have a data, the first thing is that like at least spend 5 days to 1 week of time just by looking at the data. Do nothing, do not do anything about the data. Just try to look on the data at a very good manner from the different angles. Try to understand the data from the different point of the view, like what the data is trying to tell you. Data is a story. Let me tell you guys, like data is always a story. Okay, and you need to hear the what the data is trying to tell you. Right. But if you're not able to build a relation with your data, then that you'll not be able to understand the what data is telling you. Okay, and will not be able to understand what are you trying to do. So you will just start randomly doing something, you will get something, but that will not solve a question of interest. And you will not be able to create an impact. Right. So whenever we have the data, the first thing basically what we do basically is that we start observing the data. We try to look at the data from the different angles. And at the moment of looking at the data from the different angles and understand the insights from the given data, we do the descriptive analytics. Okay, so descriptive analytics is nothing but simply observe your data. Okay, perform the complete EDA, exploratory data analysis upon your data, and understand the data from the different point of view. Okay, so EDA comes under descriptive analytics basically, where you're just trying to understand your data by performing the different statistical insights and statistical uh, metrics by running different statistical tests and all those things upon the data and finding some insights from there basically, right? So that is the meaning of descriptive analytics. Like in the previous class, whatever I was showing you, that was all a part of descriptive analytics. Like in the previous webinar, when we were doing the EDA part, right? So that comes under descriptive analytics, right? Then we comes to the part of diagnostic analytics, right? So just wait for a minute. Let me join using my tab as well, so that I will be able to write something and tell you also. Okay. Or let me share. Just a minute. So So just wait a minute. Let me join my tab as well and see if I'm able to whiteboard. Okay, new whiteboard. Hi guys, can you look at the screen? Is it visible to you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Like
Yes,
who
sir.
is doing this? Please stop, guys. Like somebody is trying to do something. Please do not. Okay. So see, guys. Like suppose that you are having something like this. Guys, please stop. I'm requesting you. Okay. कहाँ चला गया अच्छा whiteboard यार. Okay. See. Great. Fine. So see, guys. Oh, right. Yeah. Here we have. Great. So suppose that y equal to mx plus c, right? I'm damn sure that आप सभी ने ये क्वेश्चन कभी ना कभी देखी है, right? Because all of
Yes,
you are
sir.
graduate students here, तो आपने कभी ना कभी क्वेश्चन जरूर देखी होगी, right? So y equal to mx plus c, and I need to apply here a summation sign. I goes from 1 to n. Okay.
It's not visible.
So and this is your xi. Uh, Great. Yeah. So see, guys. So when I'm writing here, y equal to summation mx plus c, right? M is what and x is what. So can any one of you take the lead and help me to interpret this mod like equation? What is the meaning of y equal to mx plus c? What is x here? What is c here? What is m here? And what is y here? Anyone?
Yeah, Y is the output and the Xi are the data points. I mean your observations. C
Mhm.
is that like it seems like a equation of straight line only.
Great. So you are
Yeah.
saying that it's a equation of the straight line. Absolutely. You are
C is
definitely.
intercept.
Yes, c is the intercept, right? So it is something like this. Am I right? That is y equal to mx plus c. This equation will look something like this, right? So here, what is x
Yes.
basically? X is the variable. X we call as variable. Then we come here like what is m here, right? So m is what? M is the slope basically here. M is the degree of slope in this equation, right? And then what is the c? C is this particular value, the intercept which the line makes with the y-axis basically, right? So this is the most simplest equation which you start looking at from the ninth standard mathematics, right? So y equal to mx plus c. So now what happens basically is that now suppose that we have total 5x here. Okay, so suppose that you are given total 5x variables. Okay, so you have something like this: x1, x2, x3. Just a minute, okay? अरे कॉल मीटिंग होगा कौन सा लेट लाया वो खरीद लाया कितने का लिया 400 मीटिंग होगा और जाएगा Okay, fine. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So suppose that we have the three variables only. Suppose that. Okay. So now what will happen basically is that we have three variables. So there will be three m basically, right? So there will be one m with this m1, then we'll have m2, and then we'll have the m3, right? So m3, m2, and m1, right? So what will the equation now basically? Y is equal to m1 x1, right? Followed by m2 x2. Y से बहुत tough है यार ये लिखना यार. And then we have here with this m3 x3. Now see here. Okay, so we have this equation basically. Now what it is trying to tell basically here is that if we have three different variables, right? X1, x2, x3. Now if you are going to keep two of your variables as constant, okay, and only one of your variable is going to change. So with 1 unit change in x3, what amount of change will take place in y? That is being expressed by m3. Similarly, by keeping x1 and x3 constant, with 1 unit increase in x2, what amount of or what unit of change will take place in y with 1 unit increase in x2 is explained by m2 and respectively with the m1 basically. Okay, so that is the meaning of slow. That if you are going to change your x by 1 unit, then by what unit y is increasing. That is the meaning of y equal to mx plus c. And this is the simplest prediction model basically. For example, like suppose that very simple, you have one, you have two, you have three, and then you have four, and you have five, right? Now suppose that here you have three, here you have five, here you have seven, and here you have nine. So can anyone tell me what value will come here? Anyone? One
Eleven.
corresponding
11.
three at 11,
11.
right? So can you tell me how have you found basically
Odd numbers from
odd number है. चलो फिर मैं change कर देता हूँ यार.
Looking at series.
Yes. So looking at the series, some hidden pattern is there. What is the pattern? It is double of this plus 1. 3 is equal to 1 into 2 plus 1. 5 equal to 2 into 2 plus 1. 7 equal to 3 into 2 plus 1 and so on, right? So here, if this is my y and this is my x, so what I'm going to write here, y is equal to 2x and plus 1. Got it? Can we express this equation like this? Now suppose that if x is going to take 10 value, then it will be how much? 21. Very simple. But this is the meaning of modeling. This is the meaning of modeling, that is based upon the current values. You try to build some rules. You try to make some rules. Okay. And then with the help of those rules, you try to predict the future. You try to make the prediction for the value which are not given to you, or the value which were not shown to your data basically, or the model basically, right? So just a minute, okay?
Recording in progress.
So fine guys. Good. So hope you're able to see my tab screen now, right? So see guys, what I was trying to tell you
Yes.
basically, y equal to mx plus c, right? So if we are going to change the x by 1 unit, y is going to change by how much amount of unit? That is being explained by m. So if you're going to write m basically, it will be y minus c by x, right? It is very simple. It is very simple like this basically. Okay. So now within this basically, within this, like suppose that if we have to remove this intercept term, it will be how much? Y equal to wx. Y equal to wx. But we really need to have the intercept term also here as well. We need to have the intercept term as well, basically. Okay. So at the time of modeling, there are ways in which I'm not going to write here C, but that will be there in my model. I will tell you like how those matrices are to be designed and all, basically. Okay. So, but this is the meaning of modeling. Okay. But now coming to the question that Payal had asked me. Hi, Payal, are you there?
Yes, yes, I'm there.
Great. So now coming to the question that Payal had asked me basically. So let us see basically, guys. Yeah. So Payal, did you attend the last webinar of mine?
No, sorry, actually, this is
Great.
my first one.
So not a big deal. Okay. So see, Payal, what happens basically is that you are given a gene expression data basically. Okay. So you are given a gene expression data. Okay. So gene expression data looks like something like this. We have the samples here, and then we have the genes here basically. Okay. And then we also have the condition vector basically. A condition means basically that the sample, the subject or the patient is of which biological condition basically, or which biological state. Is he cancer stage 2, cancer stage 3, or what basically? Okay. So these are the different genes. So as we all know that the humans has approx 20 to 30,000 of genes, annotated ones, right? So this matrix will be what? Like these are M. So M cross 30K matrix basically. Okay. So M cross 30K will be my matrix size, right? So there will be M samples and 30K cross matrix. And the other conditions, suppose that we are dealing with a binary condition. We are dealing with a binary condition, and we have the state as basically, suppose low grade glioma and H grade glioma basically. H grade, high grade glioma, low grade glioma. Yes. Suppose that you have two different, you are given a brain cancer data basically. Okay. And the data is having binary in nature. Binary in nature basically means that the outcome variable basically, the outcome variable is binary. Binary means it will have only two possible states, A and the B. Only two possible states. And here the two possible states are LGG and the HGG. LGG means low grade glioma. HGG means high grade glioma. Right. Now, what we need to tell and find basically is that we know that, और दवाई बहुत ही सिंपल होता है. जैसे आपकी क्लास में अगर मान लो 50 स्टूडेंट्स हैं, so you know that 50 स्टूडेंट के मार्क बराबर नहीं आते हैं. ऑब्वियस आ भी नहीं सकते सेम मार्क्स, राइट? किसी के ज्यादा आते हैं, किसी के कम आते होंगे. ओके. एंड अगर मान लो कभी कोई इवेंट होना है कॉलेज में या कहीं पे भी, और टीचर को क्लास का रिप्रेजेंटेशन भेजना है, तो टीचर क्या करेगा? उनमें से कुछ वो बच्चे उठाएगा जो पूरे के पूरे क्लास को रिप्रेजेंट करने का दम रखते हैं, और द क्लास स्टूडेंट्स हु will be able to represent the complete class, right? Oh, okay. Similarly goes here. Similarly goes here. Uh, we know that whenever we have multiple number of features, all features are not equally likely to affect the outcome. They're not, right? Some feature is going to predict, like give more weightage in predicting the condition. Some will have very less weightage. Some will have zero weightage, basically. Okay. Some will have high weightage, some will have low weightage, some will have null weightage, basically, in helping you to uh, classify one condition of, versus the other condition, basically. Right. So this is termed as feature selection, basically. Okay. This is termed as your feature selection. Okay, that out of all features are not equally likely and responsible for prediction of y. So we, in order to get the most relevant features, we need to perform some sort of engineering, and we need to select the most important features with us. What methods and all, like, just forget about those methods and all. They are the technical things. Okay, we are not going to discuss about those, but there are methods with the help of which you can find the most relevant features from here. Yeah, Payal, you want to say something?
Yeah. So, can you please clarify what you are defining as a feature? Say, in
Feature
the
means
condition.
gene. Feature means gene है आपके basically यहाँ पे.
Oh, okay, okay, got it.
Yeah. So feature कुछ नहीं, feature means gene है आपके, ठीक है? एक सेकंड में कहाँ पे आ गया यार? So feature selection. Okay. So out of the 30,000 features, we'll be interested to find a small set of those features which will help us classify the two different state, one versus the other, basically. Right. So that is our task. For that, we try to build some model, some statistical test. We can do number of things. Using those n number of things, we try to come up with a very small number of features, basically. Okay. Suppose that we got total 25 features. We got total 25 features with the help of which we are able to predict our y. And y is what? Y is a biological condition, LGG versus the HGG. Okay. So what will be my task now? To, with the help of these 25 features, with the help of these 25 features and the outcome variable y, हाँ भाई हवा नहीं भी हो, मैं गया ही नहीं कहीं भी यार आज, घर में ही हूँ. मुझे बता दो टायर खराब है ना, तो टायर में मिल जाता है, किसी पेट्रोल पंप पे डलवा लेना. ठीक है. So where were I? Yeah, fine. So see, so we have total 25 features and we have the y. So what is the next task of ours? Basically, we need to build a model. We need to build a model y equal to mx plus c. Very simple. We need to build a model mx plus c. Right? Why? Because you have the x's in the current state. You have the x value. Okay, and the c will be the intercept. Okay, so your task is this only for these 25 features, and for the y binary, that is 0 and 1 state, you need to build a model. And in order to build a model, we are doing nothing. Trust me, guys. आप कितनी बड़ी चीजें कर लो, machine learning, deep learning, AI, and all में, the what are we trying to do? We are just trying to find this m basically only. Okay, so if you really want to build a good foundation in machine learning, you will have to understand the this equation at a great level basically. Only this equation. अगर आपको ये क्वेश्चन समझ में आ गया, फिर आप धीरे धीरे मशीन लर्निंग सीख जाओगे ऑटोमेटिक. ओके, बट दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट इक्वेशन. ओके, सो दिस इज द m, that is the slope or the weights. In machine learning, we call the weights basically. Okay, so our task is to find the value for these weights. And now, if we have these weights value, so what will happen? See, so suppose that we have the weights vector. So 25 values. So we'll have 25 values basically here, right? So 25 values. Okay. Now with the help of these 25 values, and we have the x here, what? X is the name of the gene. Okay. So your equation look something like this. See, W1, X1, W2, X2, W3, X3, W25, X25. Now in this equation, what have you done? X values you'll be given from the data. You'll be given from the data basically. अभी आपने इस इक्वेशन डेटा को देख करके आपने मॉडल बनाया, आपने m निकाल लिया, आपको m मिल गया. After getting the m value, you are building this equation, right? So we have built an equation wixi basically. So 25, so 25w and 25x will be there, right? Now, when you are given an unknown patient, now you are given an unknown patient. Okay, So now suppose some unknown patient came to you and you got them profile for only these 25 genes. But try to understand the problem of sequencing and all. Sequencing is not that cheaper method. It is really a very costly method basically. Okay. So whenever the companies are trying to do something, they always try to come up with a very small number of the genes. Okay. अगर आप कह दोगे लाइक हमारे पास 1000 जीन मिले हैं जो कि इस कंडीशन को एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हैं, ट्रस्ट मी, नोबडी इज इंटरेस्टेड इन योर रिजल्ट्स. ओके, बिकॉज आपको उन चीजों को जमीन पे लेके आना है, आपको उनको मार्केट फिट बनाना पड़ेगा. अदरवाइज व्हाट विल हैपन, यू आर जस्ट डूइंग सम रिसर्च for the sake of publishing papers and all. Nobody is interested in the papers basically at the industry level. Let me tell you, okay? At the industry level, when you try to solve the problem, we are trying to deal with the real situation of the world. And the biggest challenge is basically the poverty before the world basically. And now, uh, due to some reasons basically, within India, if you talk about, the gap between the rich and the poor is increasing at a very high rate. Okay, so in the coming amount of time, this Gini index basically. So Gini index is a metric which help you understand the level of povertyness basically, or the income inequality. Okay, so the income inequality will increase a lot again in India basically. Okay, it will go to the state similar to US basically, most probably. Okay, most probably India is likely to go into a state like US. Okay. So definitely, if you are finding 1,000 genes and proposing that these 1,000 genes will help you classify these two diseases, who cares? Nobody is interested in like 1,000 जीन हम उसको सीक्वेंस करवाए और फिर हम उससे मॉडल वॉडल बनवाए, क्या फायदा? आपका मॉडल तो कॉम्प्लेक्स होगा, आप एक्सप्लेनेबिलिटी नहीं ला पाओगे. ओके, सो ऑलवेज इन द रियल वर्ल्ड, ट्रस्ट मी गाइस, lower the substance or lower the features you have, more value you carry in the world. आप जितनी ज्यादा चीजें लेके जाओगे आपकी वैल्यू उतनी कम हो जाएगी. लाइक द सेइंग आल्सो सेज लाइक स्पीक लेस, act more, right? Similar goes in the data science. We should always try to have very small number of features. Okay, lower the number of features, more value you carry in the world of modeling basically. Okay. So coming to the point, so you have 25 features and 25 weights. Okay, so Sunita is trying to say something. Just wait a minute, Sunita, and then you can carry your question. Okay. So now with this, basically, you have built a model. Okay. So patient came, you get them profiled for these 25 genes. The weight values you already have, right? So weight values you already have. Suppose that these weight values are like this: 2.5x1, 3x2, 1.8x3, 2.9x25. So these values are already with you. Okay. Now you need to do have what? X values only. You need to have only the X value. These X values will be given to you by getting the patient profile for the gene expression, and you will get the values from there basically. Right? So once you have those values, you can put those expression value on this equation basically, and you will get something. You will get something basically here. But here, the something that you will get, it will be a numerical value basically, guys. It will be a value. But what we had here, why was a binary data, 0 or 1. So now the challenge comes what? We need to go from the value to the discrete state, from the numeric to the discrete state, basically. Right. So for that, we have a number of techniques. Okay. So for that, we have a number of techniques, basically, guys. Okay. And one of those techniques which is applied here, basically, is the activation functions. Okay. Activation functions which we need to apply basically. Okay, so the simplest law activation function is basically your this uh softmax, not softmax. Just a minute. Okay, has Srishti, are you there in the call? I guess not. So
Yes,
logistic has Srishti, are you there?
yes, sir.
Great. Srishti, logistic में उसका नाम क्या होता है activation function का?
Sigmoid function use
Sigmoid. Yes, thanks. Yeah.
Logic.
Logit कहते हैं हम. Yes, logit is something else basically. Yes, logits होते हैं You are right. Yeah. The activation function is used here sigmoid basically. Okay. Logic हम sigmoid से बनाते हैं. So sigmoid function we have basically, and this sigmoid function is nothing but simply this. Okay, guys. So this is the sigmoid function that we have. So whatever value you get here, like suppose that you got here the value as 98. Just imagine you got here 98. So what you will do now? 1 upon 1 plus e to the power minus 98. Because this thing you have already calculated here. So that you will put here. And do you know one thing? The best part is that the value of this equation, 1 upon 1 plus e to the power minus wx plus c, will always lie between 0 and 1. It will always lie between 0 and 1, guys. Okay. And when it lies between 0 and 1, we can call it as a probability function as well. We can call it as a probability function. And we have the discrete data. So what you can do now, you can tell one thing. So the value you will get here, we'll call it as y hat. This is termed as hat in data science. Okay. So now if my y hat is less than threshold condition equal to LGG, else condition is equal to HGG. Very simple, solved. Okay, so now you will tell, yes, the patient that you have profiled for the 25 genes, now you are telling that based upon this value, that patient is either what? LGG or the HGG basically. Okay. Now, this is the simplest form of the modeling that I've told you guys. Okay, so I hope that Payal, now I have answered your query. Did you get a little bit idea or not?
Yes.
Got
Thanks
the
for
idea?
explaining in a comprehensive manner.
Yes. So आपको एक पिक्चर पता चल गया ना, like overview, like क्या होता है?
Yeah, I would like to ask one more thing. Say, here you're talking about binary thing. Say, if you have more than two conditions, so how you go about it?
That's a very nice question. Thanks for asking. Let me come to that problem as well. Thanks. Okay. So when we have more than two classes, okay. So there, like this thing that I explained to you guys, this is known as क्या कहते हैं इसे? Logistic regression. Okay. There is another model like this logistic regression model only. Logistic regression model only. It can be used for multi-class level problem as well. Yeah, Sunita, okay, fine. So I will come to your question basically here, Payal, once. Okay. Yeah, Sunita, you can ask your query. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. Sir,
Yeah.
you said that the lower the variables means features, the
आपको
more
थोड़ा
will be
जोर
the accurate.
प्लीज थोड़ा सा जोर से प्लीज
Sorry? Yeah, yeah. So
कैन यू
you
बी लिटिल
asked
लाउडर
yeah, is it okay, sir? Is it audible?
या यू आर ऑडिबल या
Yeah. Okay. So you said that the lower the samples or the variables or the features, the more is the accuracy.
no accuracy I didn't say
Hmm.
explainability will be there with you more okay and
So you
from the
are saying that it's a features means
commercial point of view
variables.
it will be good basically
So it's a features means here is a variables.
yes feature means variables
Okay, so the lower the samples or the variables, the how about the
sample
significance?
and variable are two different things sample and
Okay,
variable are two different things Sunita.
yes, yes, okay, okay.
Yeah. सैंपल
So the
मतलब
lower
हो
the
गया कि आप कितने पेशेंट है आपके पास वेरिएबल
population
मतलब
or
कितने
patients.
फीचर्स है आपके पास
Okay, okay.
yeah.
So you are predicting with the two different variables like age or gender like this, or with the
Yes,
multiple like age, gender, diabetics,
right,
and arthritis or whatever. Okay,
right.
so we'll get the significance, right? So multiple variables will have a significance. The more the
No, definitely we'll have basically Sunita. I'm completely agreeing with you point basically. Okay, but वो more कितने? Because we need to quantitate everything in the real world, right? Because when we work in data science, we need to quantitate each and everything. जब more कहते हैं तो more कितना लेकिन 10, 20, 50 कितना आपका more कितना आप पहले more define करो अपना
more like 10 plus
10 plus is a
12,
very
13.
normal number 10 plus is a very normal number like
Okay,
it
okay.
should always be like less than 50 अगर less than 50 आपके पास है it's a good number okay
Okay. Okay.
like, मेरे मोर का मतलब था like ऐसा ना हो कि आप 200 फीचर ले रहे हो, मॉडल प्रेडिक्ट कर रहे हो, 300 फीचर, 500 फीचर. It should not be like
That
that.
means you are saying about the big data.
Yes, it will depend upon the
Okay.
database.
Okay, okay, fine.
Because suppose that, let me share a paper right now here. You are from biology
Yes.
background only, no?
Yes, I'm PhD from
Oh,
genetics.
and you are from biomedical background only, right?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Great. So then it is not big problem for me to explain biology here. Just a minute. So tell me like if my screen is visible. Allow, share, continue.
Okay. Yes, yes, I can hear you.
You can share my screen, right?
Yes,
Good.
yes, yes.
So just let me open that paper. 17 gene signature logistic classifier breast cancer, because I have forgotten the complete title of the paper. Yeah, let me check if it come. Yeah, great, it will come. Great. So you can see my screen and the paper right now here, medicine, right? So see here. What is written here basically? A 17 gene expression based prognostic signature associated with the prognosis of patient with the breast cancer. So 17 is a very good number. अगर यही number कोई बोले 150, does it make any sense? Right.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
17 is a very good number. Like with the 17 genes, you can go for like आप इसको मार्केट में कमर्शलाइज कर सकते हो 17 जीन के साथ. बट अगर कोई 120 जीन क्लेम कर रहा है, 150 जीन क्लेम कर रहा है, then it doesn't make much sense basically. Right. So from that point of view, I was saying that like lower the number of the genes you will have, or lower the number of features you will have, more explainability you will be able to explain. Because suppose now, अब बस खाली 17 जीन है, अब आपको उसको
So we
explain
are
करना है. You have
predicting
to
the whole genome, n number of
pardon
genes.
here,
Whole genome, n number of genes. So
right?
we are predicting. Can you
What
hear
you are
me?
predicting?
Whole genome.
तो whole genome
Whole
से क्या
genome.
लिख? Can I get your question complete?
Yes, yes. N number of genes we are going to predict in the whole genome.
Right.
So
No, no,
it will
no.
be the multiple.
So we are not predicting the genes in the genome basically right now here. We are given a question very simple. We are given a gene expression data, and we are given the patients coming from two different biological conditions. And we need to find a smaller number of the gene as a signature, which will help us to classify the patient in the different classes.
Okay.
So we need to find a smaller set of the genes, which we can call as the signatures. Because you see, like why are we trying to find the signatures? Because your job being a data scientist is not, right now I'm using the word scientist, not a data scientist. Okay. Because once you have the genes, now the role of the scientist will come here. Earlier, data scientists were working. Okay. So now once you have the genes, now you are not going to do anything with the gene. You know this thing, right? Because your
Yes.
task will now start here to explore the biology of these genes. You will try to understand that which molecular pathways, in which molecular pathways these genes are being engaged, right? How the genes are interacting with each other, which set of the microRNAs are regulating them, which site of these genes are being regulated by the methylation probes and all, right? And how we can, and which out of these genes can be targeted as a therapeutic target, small molecule target as well, basically, so that we could think of to take the gene towards the commercial to the therapeutic point of view. Right. The real task is that only, if I'm not wrong. Right, Sunita?
Okay, okay. Got it.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that is the real challenge. Never ever think that your task is only to like get the data, build some ML model, get the genes and report and publish the paper. It is doesn't work like that in science. It is simple data science job. Okay. जो एक 12th plus के student भी कर देगा आज की date में with the help of AI and all. Okay. Your task being a scientist is that getting the genes, bringing explainability, bringing biology, and taking those things to the real world, making some application for the world point of view, basically. Okay, so see, like this is a very wonderful paper. I will highly recommend you guys go through this paper and try to understand how AI is being, like machine learning is being used in the field of biomedical science. Okay, So in this paper, they have made use of multiple number of concepts. So they have made use of lasso, then Cox model, okay, then logistic regression as well. Then they have made use of two different data sets, TCGA, BRCA, and Metabrick cohort as well, basically. Okay. And what they have done basically is that they have built a 17 gene as a signature, which will help you classify the given breast cancer states. Okay. So, okay. So, fine. Okay, so like these are the Kaplan-Meier curve and all basically that see like they are the different groups. So high risk group, low risk group. We know that like high risk group should have lower survival and which is being given by the data as well basically, right? So try to go through this paper and understand basically this I will cover in the last webinar of this particular series where I'll be talking about the survival modeling basically. Okay. So hope now I have convinced you regarding like why a small number of genes are required. Right, Sunita?
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir, can you
Good.
share the paper, sir? Link of the paper.
मैं शेयर कर दूंगा लाइक अभी कैसे करूं मैं चलो एक सेकंड रुक जाओ अभी पीएचडी कहां से वैसे बाय द वे
Sir, from Osmania University.
हैदराबाद राइट
Yes, Hyderabad.
ओह नाइस which year you are in right now
Sir, I've completed, means I have awarded, sir.
oh
In
nice so
2024
you
December.
I'm really sorry
Yes.
so Dr. Sunita I should call then
Yes. Thank you, sir.
sorry yeah hope I still visible now again right
Yes.
great so see like guys now we have covered the prescriptive descriptive diagnostic and now coming to the predictive modeling predictive I have already told you oh is my screen visible the PPT
Sir?
yeah PPT is visible or not
No, sir.
No, sir.
just a minute
Sir, can you please send the link of the paper in the
I've
chat?
shared in the chat basically. I've shared in the chat already. Yeah, Palak, you've raised your hand. You want to ask something?
Yes, sir.
हाँ जी बताओ Palak.
Sir, so we started with linear regression, right?
Logistic.
Sir, no. Earlier we started with y equals to mx plus c.
Yes, that was linear, right?
Yeah, that was linear, and now we are diving into logistic regression. Sir, how they are, I cannot relate. Like you started with linear, and how you are bringing it in logistic regression.
Good. So that's a nice question. So for that, can you tell me first, like, what is the meaning of regression, by the way?
Sir, regression means, uh, sir, the equation we are using,
Forget the equation. What is the meaning of regression? When do we make use of regression model?
sir, सर प्रिडिक्शन के टाइम यूज करते हैं
वो तो लॉजिस्टिक भी करते हैं
सर वही मुझे आई कैन नॉट अंडरस्टैंड कि हम रिग्रेशन जो यूज कर रहे हैं हम इसमें हाउ यू आर रिलेटिंग इट टू लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन
गुड
उसमें हम बाइनरी यूज कर रहे हैं दैट आई गॉट बट आई कैन नॉट रिलेट इट आई डोंट नो
okay fine would anyone like to answer this query basically here other than me hello
I
hi
mean,
guys
use linear regression when we are, I mean, when we are having only single feature. But when we are having multiple features and we are trying to predict only one continuous output, then we use multiple linear regression. And when we are expecting binary output, in the ranges, then we use logistic regression. In the binary thing, we are talking about probabilities, like it will be in 0 to 1. So we'll define a threshold that below that threshold, the patient will be classified into one condition, and above that threshold, it will be in the other.
Other condition, right? So few part of your answer is correct, Payal, but few part is wrong. Okay, not complete correct. Few part of your answer is complete
Yes,
correct.
one dependent and more than one is independent variables.
वो दोनों में होता है डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल तो हमारे पास एक होगा ही होगा राइट
सर रिग्रेशन तो ये होता है ना, एक वैल्यू दूसरी पे कैसे डिपेंड कर रही है।
वो तो लॉजिस्टिक में भी होता है, एक वैल्यू दूसरे पे कैसे डिपेंड कर रहा है।
तो लीनियर में एक से ज्यादा और लॉजिस्टिक में सिर्फ दो।
क्यों, ऐसे क्यों होगा, सोचिए देखो थोड़ा। गुड. So this is a nice thing. Like I'm really getting to hear a new point of the view. Basically, that is good. Okay. Hi, Srishti, are you there?
यस सर।
आप बताओ, आप बताना चाहोगे?
सो व्हाट इज रिग्रेशन?
हाँ, मतलब यही क्वेश्चन बेसिकली यहाँ पे लोग कंफ्यूज है. व्हाट इज रिग्रेशन एंड व्हाट इज क्लासिफायर लॉजिस्टिक बेसिकली. यस.
Sir, in regression, we usually predict
जोर से,
values.
बी लाउडर बेसिकली. हाँ,
So I am louder. Hello.
मतलब आप थोड़े कैमरे माइक से दूर हो
Hello.
गए. माइक. या,
Am I audible now?
एंड नाउ यू आर ऑडिबल. यस.
Yes, so in case of regression, we usually get values in the form of continuous kind of a values, like some mathematical values when we try to predict. But logistic regression is like a classification where we have some labels and we want to classify our samples or the data points, whichever we have, into those classes. So though linear regression and logistics are kind of same, because logistics also get the same equation which we put in that sigmoid function, and finally we get the values in the form of probability that is from range of 0 to 1, so that we can classify. So that's why the name kind of resembles, but two kind of performs the different jobs. That is, one regress, like predicting some values, like if you have height of some students, and that with that data you are training your model, and now you want to predict height of some another student. So now you will be getting the values in terms of like 167 centimeter or 165. So that is linear regression. Like you're predicting values in the form of those particular values. But if you are trying to do logistic regressions, means you are trying to divide or kind of classify some samples into different labels, then that is logistic regression. I hope that is clear.
गुड. एंड टेल मी वन मोर थिंग बेसिकली, लाइक जैसे यहाँ पे कुछ लोगों का कंफ्यूजन है, क्या इसमें नंबर ऑफ फीचर भी कुछ डिपेंड करता है कि नंबर ऑफ फीचर एक है या उससे ज्यादा है?
नंबर ऑफ फीचर से क्या चीज डिपेंड करती है,
मतलब कि क्या ऐसा कुछ होता है, बिकॉज somebody was having some doubt here that if number of feature is one then it is linear, एक से ज्यादा है तो लॉजिस्टिक होता है, क्या ऐसा भी कुछ होता है?
No, I don't
Good.
think so.
That is multiple linear regression when the number of features are more, right? If
Yeah, you
I'm
have one equation now, y equals to mx plus c. So x is your feature here. If you want to increase the values of your features, just add those values and make those weights. So yeah, you can just make your equations in that particular way where you want your features incorporated or not.
yeah, that will be multiple linear regression,
Yeah,
right?
we have these kind of terminologies, but like technically we have linear. But if you want to features and all, then we have different terminologies and all.
यस, आप कह सकते हो, उसमें कोई बुराई नहीं होती है, आप कुछ भी कह सकते हो, मतलब डेफिनेटली इट्स अ मल्टीपल वेरिएबल्स, सो वी कॉल देम लाइक मल्टी, मतलब पता नहीं, जो मतलब कुछ कह सकते हो आप, उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. यू आर गेटिंग द राइट थिंग, दैट इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. ओके, सो वो होता है हमारा. अब जो क्वेश्चन वहां पे था, किनका क्वेश्चन था मैं भूल गया, पलक पलक का क्वेश्चन था आई गेस,
Yes, sir.
दैट लीनियर से लॉजिस्टिक कैसे जाते जा रहे हैं, क्यों, राइट?
Yes, sir. Relate कैसे कर रहे हैं हम?
रिलेट ऐसे कर रहे हैं हम. सो लेट मी टेल यू बेसिकली ऐसा होता है कि जब आपके पास, सो लेट मी स्टॉप शेयरिंग माय स्क्रीन फर्स्ट. गुड. तो सी ऐसा होता है बेसिकली कि व्हेन यू हैव द वाई वेरिएबल, ऐसा मान लो कि जैसे सिस्टर ने एग्जांपल दिया, एज एंड हाइट है. ओके, आपको एज और हाइट के बीच में कुछ एसोसिएशन फाइंड करना है. ओके, या फिर सपोज दैट यू हैव द ग्लूकोज कंसंट्रेशन एंड यू हैव द डायबिटीज स्टेटस. ओके, you have to like build some association, right? So now we know that or suppose that like your BP measure and the sugar level, right? These two are what basically, both of them are continuous features. Continuous is what, जिनके बीच में आप multiple values ले सकते हो. Between any interval you will have the multiple number of the possible values. That is a continuous value, right? So whenever we have the y as the like the continuous feature, we always go for the regression kind of the modeling. But whenever we have the y as the discrete feature, basically, okay, we always go for the classification based modeling. Discrete or the categorical variable, basically, we go for the classification modeling. Now, linear regression and logistic regression. Logistic regression is a classification based model, but we call it as a regression. That is a very nice question. And if I'm the interviewer, I always ask this question. that why do we call logistic regression is a classification based model, but why do we call as the regression? And the answer to this question was given by Srishti that uh, uh, in the classification happens at the end step basically, where we try to fit the value the complete value that we get from the equation on the sigmoid function that I showed you, like 1 upon 1 plus e to the power minus wx plus c. Okay, so before that you are just performing the simple equation of the linear regression. Okay, you're just trying to optimize the error. Okay, the error which we are also trying to optimize in the linear regression model. Okay, everything remains the same. What differs basically is only the one step, that is the sigmoid function. Okay, we just try to add a sigmoid function to the equation and everything changes. Okay, so this is what the major change basically. What is the common change? Common change is that both are making use of regression equation basically. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Thanks. Okay, great, guys. So now, so let me show you few of the models basically, like क्या क्या चीजें होती है मशीन लर्निंग वर्ल्ड में. आपको थोड़ा सा आइडिया दे दूं मैं आपको. ये एक बहुत ही अच्छा पेपर दिखा मुझे एक लाइक ओवरव्यू के लिए. आई विल शेयर दिस पेपर आल्सो विद यू गाइस. मशीन लर्निंग मॉडल चैलेंज एंड रिसर्च डायरेक्शन. आपको थोड़ा आइडिया लग जाएगा. ठीक है, बट लाइफ में कभी भी इस टाइप पेपर मत छापना प्लीज. ठीक है, आई विल हाईली डिस्करेज by publishing this kind of the papers. Okay, so where is this paper basically? About computer and electrical engineering, University of North Dakota, Grand Forks. Okay, fine. It's a review paper kind of the thing basically. It's fine. Okay. So see, when you go through this paper, basically you will find these kind of the things. See, classification machine learning model. See, so there are different kind of the models: supervised learning model, semi-supervised model, unsupervised learning, and then RL, reinforcement learning. Okay, these are different kind of the models. Within the supervised learning models, they are the different kind of the models again, basically. Ensemble, neural network, regularization, instance-based, tree-based, Bayesian-based. Then we have the unsupervised learning method. Here we have clustering, dimensionality reduction, neural network-based models. Then we have RL-based models, reinforcement learning, model-free based, model-based, and then we have semi-supervised models, basically, inductive and the transductive models. Okay, so these are the different kind of the modelings. Let me tell you the meaning of these four terms only. I will not go into the model part. Supervised learning is something when you are given the target variable with you. When you have the target variable with you for all the samples, we go for the supervised learning. Suppose that you are given 1,000 patient gene expression and their condition vector as well with you. Okay, so you will do what? You will go for the supervised learning model. Okay, where the model is getting supervised by the outcome variable. That is the meaning of supervised learning. Okay. Then we have the unsupervised learning. You are given the data, but you are not given the target variable. You do not have any information about the target variable. So what you will do in that case? You will just try to find some hidden patterns on the data, and you will try to group the patients together or group the different samples or the entities together, basically, which is termed as clustering. Okay, so if somebody asks you, what do you mean by unsupervised learning? It is very simple. Like whenever we are not given the target variable for all the samples to us, we go for the unsupervised learning. What can we do in that case? Very simple. You can try to cluster the different patients within the different groups. Okay, so we try to cluster the similar patients within the similar group, basically. Okay, that is term of clustering. Dimensionality reduction I covered in the previous class, basically, previous webinar. And neural network model छोड़ दो आप अभी. Then we have the RL based models, reinforcement learning. Okay, it is also very good and advanced model, basically reinforcement learning, very highly recommended and highly used in the field of biomedical science nowadays, basically. And definitely like commercial world में बहुत ज़्यादा use होता है RL. Okay, where it is the model where what we do basically, like you are like it is definitely a supervised learning based model basically somewhere. Okay, so here we have the target variable also, but we try to make the model very smart. Okay, and at the time of learning we try to give some penalty and we try to give some reward to the model at the time of learning, basically. Okay, so when the model is being trained, it is being trained in a manner that it is going to be very smart. It will act smartly, right? So penalty and the reward method works here. Then we have the semi-supervised learning method, where you you can look at the word semi and the supervised. So other supervised, right? So here you will have the target variable for you basically with the data, but for not all the samples. You will have the target variable for few of the samples, and the remaining you will not have. Okay. Now, this is a very interesting problem. So what is the task here with supervised learning? You try to do a predictive modeling basically. Okay. You try to get the data, fit the model, try to get the weights and build a predictive model. As supervised learning, you try to cluster the different patients in the different groups. Same supervised learning, based on the patterns which are being trained from the data for which the target variable available. You try to make some rules. With those rules, you try to predict the unknown data basically in the group. And it is not that simple. So many other steps are also there. RL based method, I've told you already. Now, if you go further basically in the supervised learning models, so see, in the supervised learning model, when you will go, oh, it is not a good quality figure. Yeah, great. Now it is good. So with this supervised learning, you have different models. See, Bayesian-based models, and there are a number of models, right? Tree-based models, instance-based models, regularization-based models, network-based models, and symbol-based models, and all. Okay. So there are a number of models basically. Yeah, by the way, I forgot one of the questions that was asked by Payal basically, that if you have multiple classes, that how can we do the classification? It is very simple. Then in that case, Payal, we have the two different approaches of using logistic regression. One is one versus all, and other is one versus one basically. So what is the meaning of this? Suppose that आपके पास 10 different classes है. Okay. आप क्या करोगे? आप अपने एक क्लास जिसको आपको प्रेडिक्ट करना है उसको लोगे 1, बाकी rest of all the classes you will make as 0. Okay. So you have total 10 classes, so you will make total 9 models basically. You make total 9 models, and these 9 models you can make use of to predict a particular sample. Got it? Hi, Pal, are you there?
Sir, what is the meaning of class here?
Class means ऐसा आपके पास दो क्लास थे ना, एक LGG and HGG, low grade glioma, H grade,
Okay.
high grade glioma.
And
Suppose that like that only you have multiple classes. You have suppose that आप 5 classes, आपके पास 5 different classes हैं. आप कैसे
multiple
classify करोगे?
conditions.
Yes, conditions.
Okay.
Great. Okay. So like this, you have a number of models basically. Okay. Never ever try to understand and read all the models. आप भी मतलब आप अपना time waste करोगे. Okay. So just try to understand the models which you are going to make use of. Being instructor, they need to know all the different models basically. But being a student and a researcher, you do not need to know all the models. Okay. Then we have the ensemble based models and all. So you have number of different kind of the models basically. Okay. So and then surprise, it's a good paper. Like it's a good review paper. So let me share this paper as well. If you are interested, you can go through it as well in your free time. Good guys. Okay. So now I will wait for 2 minutes here. So if any of you have any question till here, you can ask me. And then after that, I will start showing you a hands-on in Python basically. Okay. Because I think that I've given you a nice idea about the classification, about the regression, what the different kind of the models, and what is the ultimate sole purpose of doing all this thing basically. Right. So now if any of you have any question, you can ask me here. Hello. Hi guys. Any questions? Anybody?
Sir, sorry, but if possible, could you please explain regression and logistic regression? I didn't understand.
Okay. Fine. See. अगर मान लो आपके पास अनिरुद्ध, आप मार्केट गए, ठीक है, आपके पास अब बस एक पेन की कीमत है 10 रुपए और 100 रुपए दिए, कितने पेन खरीद पाओगे आप?
सर क्या?
आप बस 100 रुपीज हैं एंड आपके पास एक पेन की कॉस्ट है 10 रुपीज. हाउ मेनी पेन्स विल यू बी एबल टू परचेज?
10.
10. गुड. कैसे निकाला आपने?
क्योंकि एक पेन का कॉस्ट 10 है और हमारे पास 100 है तो 100 by 10 ये थे टोटल पेन के लिए.
राइट. सो 100/10 आपने कर दिया, निकल गया. राइट. ओके.
सर
यहाँ पे जो टारगेट मतलब दोनों ही आपको क्या था? फाइन. सो सपोज दैट नाउ अदर क्वेश्चन, आपके पास जो टारगेट वेरिएबल है, टारगेट वेरिएबल मतलब क्या है बेसिकली, जिसको आप प्रेडिक्ट कर रहे हो. अगर वो टारगेट वेरिएबल कंटिन्यूअस इन नेचर है, कंटिन्यूअस मतलब न्यूमेरिकल है, न्यूमेरिकल इन नेचर है, तो आप रिग्रेशन मॉडल अप्लाई करते हो. ठीक. अगर आपका जो आउटकम वेरिएबल, जो टारगेट वेरिएबल, अगर वो आपका कैटेगोरिकल है या डिस्क्रीट है, तो फिर आप प्रॉपर उसमें यूज करते हो क्लासिफिकेशन बेस्ड मॉडल्स. or the logistic kind of logistic regression is a classification model basically. Okay, आप थोड़ा पढ़िएगा इसका, बहुत तभी से समझ में आएगा. ठीक है,
ठीक है सर,
try to go
थैंक
through
यू।
this paper that I've shared with you. Okay, great. Any other question, guys? Anyone? Yeah, Payal, do you have any question?
So say for example, I have three conditions. I am taking the example of diabetes.
ठीक है.
So we have healthy, and we have pre-diabetic, and then diabetic, right?
ठीक है.
So there is a test named HbA1c. So
I know.
we perform the test, and then we say like if the HbA1c level is in this range, then this person is pre-diabetic and diabetic and so on.
Right.
So yeah, so if say for example I have to design a model to uh, I mean to find the probability or maybe the chances that a particular uh, pre-diabetic patient could develop diabetes in future. So shall I be using the linear regression there, multiple regression there? You if say I have to use transcriptomic data. So I mean how I should go about it? Is it
Good.
lead?
So great. So आप बेसिकली क्या करोगे, आपके डेटा में अगर आपके पास तीनों क्लासेस दे रखे हैं, आप तीनों क्लास को लेना चाहते हो, so you can go for the multi class model basically. Okay. So बहुत सारे मेथड्स होते हैं, मल्टी क्लास मॉडल लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन बनाओ, आपका मॉडल बन जाएगा. इट इज नॉट अ वेरी बिग प्रॉब्लम. ओके, if you want to build a model only for the pre-diabetic and the diabetic, suppose that you're not interested in the healthy, so just take pre-diabetic and the healthy samples, build a logistic regression simple classifier model. Okay. So yeah, got it.
Okay, but I mean pre-diabetics also there is a range. So it's seen that not every pre-diabetic patient will end up developing diabetes. So there are so many other factors. I mean working in behind to decide. I mean to dictate whether a pre-diabetic patient will end up developing diabetes in their later life.
Right.
So I mean I'm not able to appreciate the idea that linear regression would work
No,
well.
I'm not saying linear regression will solve this
Sorry,
problem basically.
yeah, logistic regression.
Logistic will just help you to get the weights basically. After getting those weights, the next journey starts basically here. Okay, so you will get the weights basically for the different features. By putting those weights and the respective value for the different features that you have basically. Okay, features it will depend upon you. आप जीन एक्सप्रेशन ले रहे हो, आप मिथाइलेशन ले रहे हो, माइक्रो आरएन ले रहे हो, या फिर आप क्लिनिकल फीचर्स ले रहे हो, इट विल डिपेंड अपॉन यू आप क्या क्लिनिकल फीचर्स ले रहे हो. ठीक है, you will put the values upon there, and then you will get some range of the value basically using those model as well. Okay. अगर आप बेसिकली H1B AC लेवल आप मेजर कर रहे हो, अगर आप और वो अगर आपका उसका रेंज है, so you will definitely make a linear regression model here. Okay, you will make a linear regression model here. Okay, and then you can pass in the data basically. Okay, but फिर आपको उसे क्लास से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. इट डजेंट मैटर लाइक वो क्लास कौन सा था, ABC था. यू विल जस्ट पुट द वो आपका एक वो आपके मैपिंग होनी चाहिए कि जब इस रेंज में वैल्यू आती है तो पेशेंट किस स्टेट में होता है, एंड दैट यू ऑलरेडी हैव बीइंग अ क्लिनिशियन, राइट. आप
Yes.
सिंपल H1B AC लेवल लोगे अपने डेटा में, उसको फीचर डालोगे, एंड देन यू विल बिल्ड अ रिग्रेशन बेस्ड मॉडल. हियर लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन मॉडल डजंट वर्क. ओके, बिकॉज आप H1B AC measure करना चाह रहे हो. Okay, and then based upon that value you will try to tell using those range that patient is going to how likely either healthy or pre-diabetic or the diabetic, right. So regression model will work here. Got the idea or not?
Yeah, that problem is already solved, right? Ki if the
Yes,
person yeah level is in this range, then it will be classified as a pre-diabetic and diabetic.
right,
My question is, I'm asking, see, I want to predict the chances that the pre-diabetic patient will develop into diabetes in near future based on their external features. Say, for example, age, their family history, those all things will be my features, right?
right.
So, I will I be fitting logistic regression here as well? And
shall I?
Yes, you can take the question. Yeah, please.
Yeah. Actually, in the logistic regression, you have to go with the categorical, like yes or no. It's diabetic, pre-diabetic, or non-diabetic.
Okay, fine. So I've got one more insight here. Yes, that जो आप क्वेश्चन करना चाह रहे हो बेसिकली यहाँ पे क्या नाम है आपका नाम क्या है पायल. ओके सो अगर आप फ्यूचर के लिए प्रेडिक्ट करना चाह रहे हो कि अगले 3 साल में क्या होने वाला है 2 साल में क्या होने वाला है राइट राइट पायल.
yes.
So for that, neither linear nor logistic will help you here. Let me tell you why. But these are not prognostic models. Here you do not have the time value with you basically. Within the model, you also need to have the time component for that. Okay. If you do not have the time component in the model, then how can you find the values in the coming time? So you need to have the time component as well, longitudinal data for that basically. Okay. So for that, you need to have the longitudinal data with you, which will tell you that uh, after a week, after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and so on, how the value is changing basically. With the help of that, we try to make the model and try to understand what is the effect of time or how the different clinical factors are changing with respect to time basically. Then time component also need to be there basically. If you do not have the time component, it is very less likely to build the model.
Yes. Yeah. So for that, basically, I would require this longitudinal samples
Absolutely,
for
yes.
my training data. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
longitudinal data is required. Yeah.
Yeah. So which modeling I will be using? I mean, I
DL
should
based.
use.
So there you can make use of simple ML based model also, and then you can go for the advanced DL based model because in the longitudinal data we normally go for the feature extraction and all, and so a number of different techniques is being used. No simple machine learning doesn't work there much. Okay,
Okay.
to
Yeah.
advanced models goes there basically. Okay, earlier was understanding your question in a different manner basically. Okay,
Yeah. Thanks.
hope now you have got the clarity, right?
Yeah, a bit. Thanks for the clarification.
So not issue. So hope my screen is visible now, right? Can you hear the serious screen, guys?
Yes, sir.
Collab screen? Great. So now I just have half an hour, guys. So I will just show you that how all these things are done basically in Python. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt you. Will you be providing the recordings of these webinars on
So I
some?
will provide the recordings, but for that you will have to subscribe my YouTube channel because we'll upload over there. Okay.
Okay. So can you tell the name of your channel, please? I'm
अभी की
sorry.
बता दूंगा तो मैं TechMed Buddy only. So you just need to Google
Okay,
TechMed Buddy and you will get the link of the YouTube as well.
sure. Thank you so
तो बाद
much.
में कर लेंगे अभी इस पे फोकस करो अभी इस पे फोकस करो बाद में कर देना ठीक है चलो गुड गाइस so hope the screen is visible right can you see the screen guys good. Fine. So, Payal and you, Sunita, are you already familiar with the Google Colab now or not?
Not really.
Okay. And Sunita, what about you?
Sir, can you repeat the question?
I'm asking that are you familiar with Google Colab platform?
Sorry.
Are you familiar
not
with this Google Colab?
No, sir.
Okay, good. So then wait for a minute, just a minute. Okay. I'm just coming, just a minute. Okay, good. So ओके फाइन तो सुनता अभी मैं ये रिपीट नहीं कर रहा हूँ बेसिकली गूगल कोलैब मैं नहीं बता पाऊंगा अभी बट वो आपने पुरानी वेबिनार की रिकॉर्डिंग में मैं लाइव करूंगा तो आप इसमें देख लेना लेट मी जस्ट ब्रीफली टेल यू व्हाट इज गूगल कोलैब ओके so google colab is a platform being offered by google okay so here it offers you a number of features with the help of it you can run very complex models of deep learning data science ai machine learning everything complete free of cost basically okay it's a very nice platform. Why? Because everything gets saved to your drive. You do not have to worry much regarding the file structurized and everything. It does everything for you basically. Got it? What is Google Colab? It is fine,
Okay.
right? Good.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So it is a very simple platform which is being offered by Google to perform Python and R both here. So what is Python and R? You already know that Python and R both are two programming languages which we make use of to make the life easier of the data scientist. Okay. So R is mainly the language for the biostatisticians, bioinformaticians and all. And Python is mainly the language for data scientists. Okay. So I am someone who make use of both R and Python very frequently in my life and the work. Okay. So here I am telling you how to perform predictive modeling with Python. Okay. If you are not familiar with all these things, not a big deal because you have the chat GPT now. Okay. So let me show you how you will do this complete thing. Because as I told you, like I have not made a slide or something today. So I will show you everything from scratch here today. Okay. Great. So see, so you need to tell it a prompt that you are a data scientist. Okay.
So we will get the recordings also.
Yes, Dr. Nadia, you will get the recording, but for that you'll have to subscribe my YouTube channel.
Okay, okay, YouTube channel. What name?
अभी आप आधे घंटे रुक जाओ फिर मैं बताता हूँ सारी चीजें ठीक है
Okay, okay, okay,
right now
sure,
you're
sure.
there in the call now you are not leaving right
Sorry, sorry.
right now you will be there in the call right
Ha, yes, sir.
sure so please follow okay
Okay,
see
sure,
guys
sure.
you're a data scientist and need to build a simple logistic regression based model okay for gene expression data okay guys now so and now you will see that write down okay so sorry write down now Python script for this. Now what you will see basically, let's see. I've just written a two-line command and it will give me the complete code. Okay, just see. इतने में माउंट वगैरह कर देता हूँ इसको. I will tell you all these things basically. अभी आप लेकिन worry मत करो. Just give me a minute, okay? I will tell you मैंने ये भी क्या किया है. I will tell you each and everything basically. ये वाला कोड भी दिखाना है. Yes. Great. So we were oh यार कहाँ गया ये? My laptop has got hang. Just wait a minute, okay? So it's working. Okay. So by the time, like, let me show you something, guys. So see here. So gene underscore exp. Oh, sorry. So it is small. Fine. See, guys. Okay. So you have a data set here. So just try to understand now whatever I was trying to explain you. Now you'll be able to see all these things in a practical. See, so this is the kind of the data set that you have, that you get basically, guys, right? I was telling you that here we have the samples in the rows, right? So here you have the samples, see. And then here you have the genes basically, see. I was telling you here are the genes, the features, and then you have the last column as the condition vector basically, right? So here you have the last vector as the condition vector, okay? Now, what is the task that I was telling you, that you need to build a very simple model which will tell this patient is either lung adenocarcinoma or lung squamous cell carcinoma. This is my task, very simple. And now here what you can see basically, there are how many features? 20,531. But we know all the features are not going to be important, right? So you need to get only a very small set of the features with the help of which you can build a model. Okay. Now, because I had covered the predictive modeling in the first basically, otherwise I would have told you like what is the one step before this even. And the step basically is the performing differential expression analysis. Okay. So by performing differential expression analysis, we get a very small set of the genes from here. The number will be most probably 200 to 300 basically only. Using just 200 to 300 genes only, we try to build the model and try to get the weights. Then from there, we select the number of the genes for us basically. Okay, so that is the feature selection step as well involved. Okay, but right now it's fine. We'll make a machine learning based model for the feature selection as well here. Okay, so you are a data scientist and need to build a logistic regression model with lasso regression. Okay. The data given to you is a gene expression data set. Write down a Python script for this. Hopefully, it will write down a Python code for me. I will explain you the Python code basically, like what is there, what is happening, and then we will do. So fine. See, now it was thinking and now it is writing down the code for us basically. I hope chat GPT आप सबको use करना आता होगा, right? अगर नहीं आता तो बता देना मुझे, मैं सिखा दूंगा chat GPT use करना भी. Good. So here is the code, and then I will just copy paste that code in my Colab file here. See guys, okay. So here what we are doing, something, forget about that. Okay, so I will tell you each and everything, but just wait a minute. Okay. So data is equal to gene underscore exp. Okay. And then condition Okay, great. So see here, guys, let me tell you basically, okay. So what is the data of ours? The data was ours of gene underscore exp, right? See, so in this data set, we have one column, which is the last column basically, which is our what? Which is your condition vector, right? So, yeah, ये hang हो गया. Okay, fine. See. So in this data set, what you can see basically, the last condition is basically a condition vector, right? So in the modeling, as I told you, like this is your uh, dependent variable basically, and these are your independent variables, right? So these are the features, and this is the target variable. This is the target variable, and these are the samples, and these are your features basically, right? Now, what is our task? Our task is to predict the samples against this particular condition, right? And now from there we need to select a very small number of the genes from here, right? So अगर हम इसको, because ये काफी ज्यादा टाइम इसलिए लग रहा है कि मैंने हेड नहीं दिया इसको, I don't know why it's taking so much amount of time. Usually ये जल्दी जल्दी हो जाता है. Great. So see, so this is our task basically that I've told you, right? Now for that, what we are doing here. So in the data set that when we prepare, this column goes as the Y column basically. This column goes as the Y column. And other than this, all the complete data set will go as the X column, right? So this is your X, the feature set, and this is your Y, the target column basically, right? So now see here. So the data is what? Gene underscore EXP. Are you following me guys, right or not? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Guys, are you with me?
Yes,
Great.
sir.
So see,
Yes, sir.
great.
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt you. You are not audible.
Sir, you're not audible.
Am I audible now? Hello. Guys, am I audible now? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. So I don't know, like some technical issue was there. Yeah. So your screen visible, right? Great.
Yes,
So see,
sir.
I was telling you that like here is the data basically gene x underscore exp. From there, we have removed the condition vector, and the remaining data is basically named as the x data with the feature set, right? And then the y column is going to be a target variable, that is the condition vector. Then we are normalizing our data for us basically. Okay. And after that, you need to divide your data set into two different parts, the train data and the test data. The train data, with the help of the train data, you will get those weights basically about which I was talking, right? The different weights that you need to get. With the help of which you will be predicting the unknown values as well, right? So for that reason, we divide the data into two different parts, X train and X test data. So we train the model upon the train data and then we predict the model upon the test data basically. So here we are mentioning here the test size equal to 20. It means that 20% of the complete data will go for the testing portion and the 80% of the data will go for the training part. Okay. After that, I'm making use of a machine learning technique here that is named as the lasso regression. So what it will do basically is that it will make all the features which are not that important as zero. It will assign the weight to all those features which are not very important as zero basically, and rest of the features it will get to us. Okay. For that, it is going to perform this all like feature selection and all basically. Okay. So it's a feature selection technique basically. So Pyle, I will just give me 2 minutes, and after that I will take your question. Okay. So after that, we are performing the grid search. So grid search is what? Like you need to basically like find the best set of the parameter values with the help of which you will perform the feature selection, right? That is like you pass here the different set of the values, but out of those values, which is the exact value, right? Because अगर suppose that अगर मैं 10 feature भी select करने, suppose अगर मैं मान लो feature select करने हैं, how many features to select? This is the question. Similarly, when we pass the different models, in the different models, we have the different parameters, which we need to find. What should be the optimal value at which we'll get the least error? That is the process named the hyperparameter tuning to getting the most optimized feature. Then we are performing for that purpose. We have the grid search method here. And after that, you are predicting and getting the results basically. Okay. So because the data set is very big, it will take too much time. So let me reduce the data set size here so that the process can be done in a lesser amount of time. Okay. So gene underscore exp dot just a minute. Okay. I log. Suppose if we are just taking only first 1,000 samples. Okay. Fine. So for the x again. Here for the x basically, uh, so x is equal to x dot I log first 1,000. So we are building a model only for the first 1,000 samples. Okay, 1,000 features, not for all the features. And now let me just run this model basically. It will give us some. Oh, so it is giving us error. Just a minute. Oh, sorry, my mistake. Yeah, Payal, you can have your question now because it will take time. Hi, Payal, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, please
So,
go ahead.
so as you said, you will be using, we are using lasso here. And
Right.
yeah, so I mean, it will make, you said it will make the less important features
At
as
zero.
So, yeah, so on what basis it will be deciding
These
this
are the
feature?
mathematics things. These are mathematical things. I cannot go into the equation right now. They are my challenges right now because we do not have that much time. Okay, these things I cover mainly in my classes basically. Okay, so if you are interested in those things, like I will tell you basically how. Yeah, Palak, you are raising your hand. Do you have any question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, you said taking so many features. So I
Mhm.
want to ask if we take so many features, will it lead to inaccuracy in predictive modeling?
यस यस अगर आप बहुत ज्यादा मॉडल हो तो मॉडल ओवरफिट हो जाते हैं आपके इनएक्यूरेसी नहीं कहेंगे मॉडल ओवरफिट हो जाते हैं हमारे ओवरफिट इज व्हाट इन कंडीशन वेयर the model will perform very nice upon the trained data but when you go for the testing data model will perform very bad.
Sir, but the more features we take, the diagnostic will be more detailed, right? So why are we
बट
not
मोर
taking?
कितना वही तो क्वेश्चन है ना बेसिकली पहला कि मोर कितना होना चाहिए जो हमने बहुत देर पहले बात करी थी वो मोर तो ठीक है लेकिन मोर कितना एग्री राइट.
Okay, so we'll have to fix the amount.
यस एब्सोल्युटली आपको डिसाइड करना होता है कितने फीचर चाहिए ठीक है सो
Okay.
गाइस इट विल टेक टाइम आई डोंट नो हाउ मच टाइम बिकॉज इट विल परफॉर्मिंग द ग्रिड सर्च फर्स्ट हियर and after performing the grid search then it will fit the model and after that it will give us some report basically. Okay, so it will give the report basically in a format that will be in this format. Let me show you. So let us first understand the report that will come in which format. Okay? So fine, guys. So once because we are performing classification based model, so the result that we'll get will have the four different metric here. Okay, these metrics is named as a true positive, true negative, false positive, and the false negative, basically, right? Because this is what we are predicting. What we mean by all these four terms, that is the of interest, right? So see, so true positive is what? There are samples which were positive and your model also told them as positive. These are the true positive. There will be samples which were positive, but your model told them as negative. The samples which were positive, but your model told them as negative. So this is what? False negative, right? Then there will be samples which were negative and your model will also tell them as negative. This will be termed as mod true negative. Then we'll have there will be samples which will be negative, but your model will tell them as positive. This is your false positive. At the time of building the model and getting the results, we are interested in getting the accuracy because when we say accurate, how accurate the model is, there we're doing nothing but simply we are finding the true positive and the true negatives divided by total. Total is the total number of samples. Okay, and we report these metrics basically upon the test data. Okay, so whatever is going to be a test data, your accuracy will come upon that basically. Okay, so now and based upon these values, we define the different metrics. We have the sensitivity, we have the specificity, we have the accuracy, we have the PPV, we have the PNV, and all. Right. So this I've already explained to you. See, so there is a term called precision. So what is precision? So precision is defined like out of all the samples, this is also true positive predicted value basically. Okay, that is out of all the samples which you have predicted as positive, how many of them were really positive? Okay, this is your precision. That is true positive plus false positive, total positive predicted values out of how many positives. Sensitivity is what? Out of all the samples which are really positive in nature. So the samples which are really positive in nature, how many of them you predicted them as positive? So this is true positive upon total number of true positives, basically. Then we have the specificity. Okay, that is out of all the positive, out of all the negative samples which were truly negative, how many of them you have predicted them as negative? And then we have PPV, which is also the precision. I've already told you. We have the NPV, negative predicted value. That is out of all the negative values that you have predicted, how many of them are truly negative? This we can skip false discovery rate right now because this will not come as the result. Okay, great. So now let me check if we have got the result. Actually, there's some problem with Zoom. So memory issue. So for that reason, I'm getting this. I'll have to free the memory of my Zoom. Then only this error will resolve. Oh my God. So it is still working basically. It is still working. It will come like okay, कितना time लगेगा चलने में? Okay. So we can wait for 5 minutes to wait for the results basically to see. Okay, but before that, I can stop my screen. Good. So, okay, एक second यार. Okay, fine. So fine, guys. So to those who are asking regarding the recording and all, basically, see. So I request you again, guys. So you can go to the YouTube basically. Okay, so you can go to the YouTube. Okay, and after एक second. Okay, fine. So you can go to the YouTube. Is my screen visible, guys? Hello.
Yes.
Great. So you can go to the YouTube basically, and after going to the YouTube, then you need to search for there basically. My laptop is hanging. TechMed Buddy. Okay. So you can go there and you can find TechMed Buddy, and there you will get the first basically link of ours, TechMed Buddy, and you can subscribe the channel basically, and we will start uploading the videos basically. So the first webinar that we had conducted, we'll upload the video in the coming 3 to 4 days basically, most of within 2 to 3 days, and this we will upload in coming 5 to 6 days basically of time. Okay. So this is the YouTube channel that you can follow. Also, I will recommend basically like to follow our LinkedIn platform as well, because we do all the marketing and all the updates through the LinkedIn only. So you can follow us over LinkedIn as well. Okay. So coming to the last part, because it will take some time, I don't know why. I can either share with you the results that will come. Okay. Or we'll have to wait. So let me share my screen. No, once again. Great. Fine, guys. Okay, so okay, fine. So guys, like I just wanted to make a small advertisement basically here that from 15th or like from this month only, we are going to launch this particular course named as Omics Data Science. Okay, so this is more of the data science first of all, more of the data science here. So here we'll be teaching all these fundamental things that I'm talking right now here in detail and in all the depths basically. Okay, like the question that you are getting, like what is happening inside the lasso, what is happening जिससे वो फीचर सेलेक्ट कर पा रहा है, कम इंपोर्टेंट को जीरो कर पा रहा है, ठीक है, मोर इंपोर्टेंट को सिलेक्ट करके हमें दे रहा है, राइट. So all these kind of the question in detail we'll be talking there. So we'll be having total 3 modules here. Module 1 will be talking about the preparatory module, which will prepare you for the data science, which will prepare you for the understanding all the fundamental of the mathematics and the statistics, probability and all. Okay. After that, in module 2, basically, we'll be talking about all the data science algorithms. Okay. And then in the third algorithm, we'll be talking about complete omics data analysis, basically. We'll be talking about the microarray data, single cell RNA-seq data analysis, multi-omics based signature discovery, NGS data analysis, and survival data analysis as well, basically. That is, how are you going to link your different covariates that you will be getting from the modeling with the survival. Okay. So this is the kind of course that we are launching. It is a approx 100 to 150 hour course. It's a complete project driven course. It will complete hands-on. Recordings will be available. Okay, post classes, not forever basically, but post classes for few some time. So that you can, if you miss the class, you can go through the recording, go through topics and all. Okay. So most probably I will share the registration form of this particular course as well with you guys. Okay. And along with all this thing, we are also assisting placement in this course. Okay, so we'll be training you like how to make good projects, how to make good CV, how to make good presentation in your PPTs and all basically, so that you'll be a good candidate for the industry point of view basically. Okay. So I'll be sharing the registration form for this particular course. And if you're interested, feel free to register basically, because trust me, it will really help you a lot. And you, by the end of this course, you will be able to do all these kinds of analysis by yourself. It is my guarantee. Okay. So now let us try to see once again if we have got the results. Oh no. So guys, it will take, I guess, some time. I don't know, like grid search is taking too much time basically. Okay. So I will have to skip. Excellent. Let me do one thing. Then it will. If I'm going to kill, then it will kill the complete session basically. So guys, I will do one thing basically. As soon as the results come, I will share with you the results basically upon the email. Okay, I will share the results with you over the email basically, and then you can go through the result and try to interpret the results by yourself. Okay, so stop share. Great. So this is all basically, guys. That let me stop recording as well. Okay. Why am I not getting the record? Okay, here. Oh God. So okay, so the last session was not recorded. Basically, it's fine. Okay, last few session was not recorded because I had left the meeting once. Okay, great. Fine, guys. So thank you so much for joining. It was great from my end. Now, just a small request before leaving the class. It would be great if all of us could come on the camera and we could switch on camera so that I could have a photo basically that we could use for our LinkedIn platform. Okay. So can all of us come on the camera basically for a minute? Hello. Okay, great. Hi, Payal. Good. So guys, please come over the camera and switch on camera, please. Oh, nice. So Asgal, you were there. Nice. Great. So Anirudh, how did you like the session today?
I was able to understand a bit more the discussion since it didn't involve that much of.
आपकी आवाज एको हो रही है पूरी.
सर अभी आवाज आ रही?
अब आ रही है. यस.
हाँ, इस सेशन मुझे और कुछ समझ में आया लास्ट सेशन से, क्योंकि इसमें थोड़ा कम वो कोलैब का यूज था, क्योंकि वही मुझे ठीक से समझ में नहीं आया था लास्ट
अच्छा.
सेशन में।
ये होता है. Guys, all of you can please come on the camera. It's a request basically. Hello. Hi guys, can you please come on the camera? भाई आ जाओ यार प्लीज. ट्रस्ट में बहुत एनर्जी जाती है 2 घंटे पढ़ाने के लिए यार. ठीक है, यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड माय एफर्ट्स. नहीं आएंगे आई गेस. ओके फाइन. If people are not coming, okay, then fine. So if now any of you have any okay, fine. So people are joining. Okay, fine. Okay, so just be on the camera. Guy, please, yeah. So slowly people are coming. Hi, Ritika, Ritu, Rasna. Can you please come on the camera? Tanishka is there. Tamanna, and then Taras. Can you please on the camera, guys? Okay, great. So now we have 9 people at least. Nice. Tanishka, can you also click one? Okay, great. So
Sure,
now if
sir.
any of you have any, yeah,
One
please.
second.
Sure, sure. So now if any of you have any question, feedback or something, please ask me. I'm here.
Yeah, so this was my first session, so I liked it a lot. Thank you so much for explaining the stuff in very comprehensive manner. Yeah,
Thanks.
it was
So
awesome.
bore to नहीं हुए? I was saying like I didn't bore you much, right?
No, no.
Chalo, good, yeah. Okay, chalo, then good. Okay, then thank you so much, guys, for joining. If you do not have any doubt, you can then leave the session. If you have any doubt, you can be in the call. Thank you so much for joining. Have a great time. And please register for the course. Trust me, like it will be a nice course. it will start making your fundamentals very clear. It is my guarantee.
What's the duration? I mean, how
It
long
will
it
be only over
takes?
the Saturday and the Sunday, and approx 4 to 5 hours daily on each Saturday Sunday. And you'll also get some TARs basically, where they will be handling your doubts, getting personalized doubts basically, and everything basically. Because we are a company basically, so let me tell you basically a little bit about me, the marketing of the company. Okay, so we are a private limited company. Okay, so now we are also having the burden to getting the student placed whom we are teaching, right? So we are working in that manner. So whosoever we are teaching, we are thinking of how what we can do to make them job ready, fit for the market basically. Okay. So ये हमारी एक burden है, तो हमारी टेंशन हम करके रहेंगे इसे, ठीक है? So that is the biggest bottleneck for us now basically. Okay. So please register for the course, guys. And this is the thing that I've said in the brochure as well, that whosoever guys will be attending all the 5 webinars, we will be getting a 20% discount on the flat on the course. So the course is for 10,000, but we will be giving it for the only 8,000 rupees basically. Okay. But for that you need to attend all the webinars. 5 webinars. अगर आपने पहला मिस किया था, please 4 join करना. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Yashwant. Any doubts? How do you like the session?
So no doubt, sir. I can understand everything, and is very interesting topics. And you're saying, sir.
Great. Thanks. So, Abhi, what are you doing currently, Yashwant?
So now I'm doing currently a job, sir, bioinformatics, NGS.
In
So
BS.
NGS now I'm doing job, sir.
NGS data analysis.
Flavorgen,
Oh, nice. And which company are you
Flavorgen
currently
company.
working for?
Flavorgen, sir. Flavorgen.
Okay, where is it?
Bangalore. Bangalore,
Oh,
Bangalore.
Bangalore. Nice. I was there in Bangalore last month
Oh, sir.
in the ISC only, basically. Okay,
Oh,
good. So, Yashwant, please join the coming webinars also. We have the 3 more sessions left basically for this webinar. Free
yeah.
webinar series. Here we are not charging anything. All this is for free basically. Okay. And I will recommend, like, if you really like the session and all, please register for the course. Okay, because
Okay,
this
okay.
course is going to be really very fruitful, and you will be on, like, because you are working now. So by the end of the course, you will be on a one level above, and the promotional transaction will be high basically.
Yeah, oh, yes, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So then, thanks guys. Thanks for joining. If no one of you have any doubt or something, then I'm leaving the call basically. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.